Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Root Yoga Therapy. I'm your certified yoga therapist, Jasmine Leventhal, and today's practice is going to be delicious because we are going to focus on all the externally rotated poses. So like things like Warrior Two and maybe even half moon pose and some balancing stuff. But again, this is week 3 of our foundations practice. So this is a beginner practice, level 1. If you're an advanced yogi, like you've been practicing for many years, I think this is great because it allows you time to revisit some of the basics. If you're just starting out, I feel like this is essential. So I look forward to sharing. Hop into something comfy and join me on your mat. Welcome back. So as I've said before, for this series, we want to love on our props. So definitely 2 blocks. If you haven't invested in them, please do. And then I'm really liking a strap for this series. I haven't done a lot with a strap for my other series just because I feel like a lot of people don't use them as much, but they are a gem. So when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and start in a seated position, and we're just going to start in a nice cross-legged seat. It's a great way to start opening up the hips, and we can work from here, finding our seat. In the first week of our foundations practice, I mentioned sitting on a block. So if you're finding this difficult, if you're finding that you're rounding in your lower back, go ahead and prop a block underneath your seat. So it'll help give you a little bit of support and leverage, and it makes sitting up a little taller a lot easier. And when you're here, softening the eyes to close, starting to redirect your breath inward and finding those even breaths in and out through the nose. And I think it would be a good time to also introduce a different breath practice. So for the last few practices, we've just done a even breath, kind of learning how to deepen the breath, learning how to move towards nostril breathing. And so you can continue with that for this practice, or if you want, we can introduce something called Ujjayi breath, which is a gentle constriction at the back of the throat. The breath will heat the body. It's a little more energizing, but it does require more focus, and it's a little more challenging than just doing like an even breath. So you're going to find that inhale through the nose, and we'll do 1 clearing breath, so exhaling out the mouth. And then again, inhale through the nose. And this time on the exhale, there's like a gentle constriction of the back of the throat. And you're going to make it's a slight audible sound as you breathe out through the nose. A good like imagery for this is on the exhale, you want to feel like maybe you're fogging up a piece of glass, you know, like, and like that constriction that you feel in the throat when you're is kind of what we're looking for in the Ujjayi breath. The only difference is you're going to keep your mouth closed when you make that. So that can be the challenging part. So again, inhaling, and you can just try it first with the mouth open, feeling the navel draw in. You can hear the breath a little bit, kind of like Darth Vader. And then inhaling again, same feeling, right? But the lips are softened to closed. If you can hear mine, it's just because I'm over exaggerating it a bit so you guys can get more of a feel of what you're looking for. So again, inhaling through the nose and then finding that gentle constriction. Almost like an OSHA, very light ocean wave. And if you like that, you found that, you want to continue that, I encourage it. It's a very popular breath practice. And it's very good. It's like I said, it's very warming, heats the body up. It really encourages focus and attention inward. And then on your inhale, we're going to reach the arms up overhead. Pause here, bring the palms together. Exhale, hands are going to draw down center to the heart. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Really nice. We're going to just, you can stay on the block or not, but we're going to just do some light hip circles. So hands are going to land in front of the knees. You're going to shift the body forward. If you're on the block, be careful doing this so you don't fall off. And then rolling backwards over to the side. If you don't have a block to sit on, by the way, you can also use a pillow. But for anything that we're going to use the blocks for support for our hands, you need something more sturdy. And you're going to just do some nice hip circles, just warming up. Nice and gentle, and move in the other direction. Good, and then pausing here, maybe one more. Can't remember how many I did on the other side. And then we're gonna move off the block if you're on it. We're gonna come into a hands and knees position. And then pausing here, we can do some more hip circles. So shifting forward to the side, back, just another way to open the hips, loosen the lower back. So go 3 in one direction and 3 in the other. Good, pausing here. Go ahead and grab your blocks. Place your hands on the blocks. This is what I mean when I say pillow won't work here. And then you're gonna go ahead, extend your right leg back behind you. Stay on the ball of the foot. Just shift forward and backward on the ball of the foot. Warming up the back of the leg. And then pause and center. Engage your core. Activate your leg. Float the right toes off the mat. Pause here, ground down through your right hand, reach your left arm forward, balancing cat pose, draw the navel in, or balancing cow. And slowly just lower the left hand down, right leg draws into chest. Inhale, release it back. Exhale to chest and back. And last one, pull it through and scooch it, walk it to the top of the mat. Good. Scoot your left knee back about an inch or two and then shift forward, sinking into the hips. Good. And then slide that right leg back and through. Open up through the right hip, bend the knee, maybe circling the ankle. And square the hip, lower the knee down. Good. Left leg back, stay on the ball of the foot, shift forward and backward. And then pausing here, float the toes off the mat. Engage the back leg, ground through the left hand, right arm reaches forward. Balancing cat pose or balancing cow. Keep drawing the navel in. Good, lower the hand down and then right, left knee to chest, round the spine. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale to chest. Inhale, send it back. Exhale to chest, pause here, scoot, walk it Get it towards the hands and then drop the right knee back an inch or two. Sink into the hips, lift the heart. Be mindful that your knee is not going way past your toes. You want a nice 90-degree angle. And one more inhale. As you exhale, slide your left leg out and through, and then peel the left hip open, bend the knee, maybe circle at the ankle. Good. Roll the hip down, straighten the leg, and release. Releasing blocks off to the side. Find your downward facing dog. Curl the toes, and exhaling into downward facing dog. Nice deep stretch here. Remember to stay nice and activated. Hands are pressing into the mat, fingertips are gripping. You're using your whole hand to support you. Arms are nice and strong. Shoulders are not by the ears, they're softened and away from the ears. Good, one more inhale. As you exhale, walk those hands all the way back to your feet, folding in. And slowly come all the way up, rolling up very carefully, one vertebra at a time, stacking the spine and shoulders up, back and down. Nice. So we're going to take a nice wide stretch onto our mat. This is a great way to start learning these externally rotated poses. The feet have to be pretty wide. So a good measure is if you take your arms out nice and wide, you want your feet to be landing underneath your wrists. So if you're here, this is way too small. If you're way out here, this is super unstable because it's way too wide. So you want to kind of find that sweet spot. So take a good measure. And then we're going to start on the right leg. We're going to rotate the right toes towards the front of the mat, bend nice and deep into the front knee. Take a full breath in. You can have hands on the hips for now. As you inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend the knee. Now be mindful, the front heel should intersect with the back arch. Back foot is not lifting away from the mat. The outside of the foot is pressing. Inhale, straighten the leg, activate through the quad. Exhale, bend in. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And notice my tilt of the pelvis. Pelvis is nice and neutral. Last one. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Pause here. Straighten the arms nice and wide. And then breathe. Good. We're not changing anything about the lower body, just the upper body. Flip your right palm, go up and over, reverse the warrior. Try not to back off that front leg. Instead, encourage more of a bend forward. And then as you exhale, we're coming into a side angle pose. So the arm is going to just, for this purpose, land the forearm on top of the thigh. Okay, again, you want to find that nice strong bend in the front knee, opening the chest, left arm skyward. Good, and I'm not dumping into my bottom shoulder. We're not crowding at the neck. We have a lot of space here across the chest and the upper back. Good, continue to work your front leg. One more inhale. As you exhale, warrior two position. Breathe. Good, soften the hands down. Straighten the front leg, rotate. And switch directions. So again, front foot, toes are pointing forward. Heel is aligned with your back arch. We're not rolling the outer edge of the foot away from the mat. We're pressing in. It's turned a little bit on an angle. And then my hips always tend to hike up. So I have to be super mindful to keep my hips nice and neutral and then work the bend into the front leg. Keep this back leg as your anchor. This is like what's preventing you from just flying forward and losing your balance. So as you inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And bend. Inhale, straighten. And bend. Good. Let's do one more. Inhale, straighten. And bend. And then pausing here, staying anchored. Nothing changes in the lower body. Just raise the arms. Warrior two. Good. Flipping your palm. Reverse the warrior. Find the side stretch. See if you can encourage a deeper bend into your front leg. And then as you exhale, side angle pose. Forearm's going to land to the thigh, top arm skyward. Again, we're not dumping into this bottom arm. We're not just hanging out. We're really active, creating a lot of space between shoulder and neck, reaching as far as you can to the sky, getting a lot of space through the upper back. Good. The front knee should not be leaning inward towards the big toe. See if you can align it towards the middle toe. One more inhale. Exhale, rise back up, warrior two, and straighten your front leg. Revolve your feet, so having them slightly pointed inward, almost like a little bit of like a pigeon toe. And we're going to grab our blocks, place them on the highest height in between the legs. And this is where we're going to fold to. Taking an inhale, reaching the arms skyward. Exhale, fold it forward. And then soften here, maybe forearms on the blocks. Maybe you can go lower depending on your mobility. Good, nice full breath. And slowly pressing into your blocks, come halfway up. Good, and we're gonna walk our blocks all the way to the top of our mat. Roll the front toes forward, so you should be right foot forward, left leg back. Pausing here, you're gonna step your left foot up to meet your right foot. Hands are on the blocks, this will help you. And fold at the top of your mat. You're gonna take one of your blocks, place it to your upper inner thighs. If you've practiced with me before, you've done what we're gonna do next. Squeeze the block with your inner thighs, bend your knees, drop your hips, reach the arms forward, finding chair pose. Good. As you exhale, swoop the arms back, fold in, grab your strap, take the strap to your hands, keep squeezing the block, and then take those arms up and overhead, find a shoulder stretch. Good. Gently release the hands and the strap. Chair pose. Bend the knees. Drop the hips. Reach the arms forward. Hug the navel in. So you're heavy on your heels here. You're soft on your toes. As you exhale, fold back in. Grab your strap. Take it up and over. Good. Keep squeezing the block with your thighs. Release it down. And then one more. Bend the knees, drop the hips, chair pose, root down, rise up, hands to the heart. Exhale. Good. Taking the block out from in between your legs. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold in. Good. Pausing here. Lengthen your chest forward. Once again, step your left leg back, spin down, spin the back heel down, and align your right heel with your back arch. Warrior two. Rise on up. Good. Nice strong bend into the front leg. Triangle pose. So everything stays the same. You may want to walk this back foot in about an inch or two and shorten your stance for triangle because you want to grab as much length as possible. You don't have to. Do what feels comfortable in your body. Extending your arms out nice and wide. Go as far forward as you can. Take the block to the highest height and then land the hand to the outside of the leg, and the top arm is going to reach skyward. Notice the two sides of my body. You're getting them as long as possible, really stretching through the sides of your ribs, the lower back. Good. Find your breath. Maybe stretching that top arm forward. Be mindful of the chest. Roll the chest skyward. One more inhale. As you exhale, press through the feet, rebend the knee, warrior two position. Nice job. And then circle the hands down. Step your left foot forward, fold on in. Again, take the block to the inner thighs. Bend your knees, drop your hips, find chair pose. Now we're gonna swoop the arms back, but we're not gonna grab a strap. Stay in chair, swoop the arms back. Inhaling, exhale, arms forward. Inhale, arms back. Exhale, forward. One more, inhale, arms back. Exhale, forward. Good, pause here, and then fold on in. Release the block. Good, slowly, chest forward, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Root down, rise up, reach up. And hands all the way down. Nice. Step it nice and wide. Once again, bring your blocks towards the center of your mat. Good. Find those rotated feet so toes are pointing inward. As you inhale, arms are going to reach up. Exhale, fold it in. And then if you want to lower the blocks, you can. Maybe you're just using one this time for your head, and that could feel really good. Find your Ujjayi breath again if you lost it. Good. Inhale, chest comes forward. Grab both blocks, walk them towards the back of your mat. Rotate the feet. So it should be opposite leg forward of what you did before. Setting up for warrior two. Rise on up for warrior two. Good. If you need to scoot that back foot in about an inch or so, or maybe even more, maybe like half a foot, then you can for triangle. Straighten your front leg. Keeping these hips nice and open. Inhale, reach as far forward as possible, keeping length through the sides of your body, placing the block to the highest height as you lower your hand down, top arm up, and opening through your chest. Good. Keep pulling your hips back, strengthening through your legs. And then maybe you're reaching that top arm forward. Notice my shoulder, it's not up here by my ears. We're pulling the shoulder down and reaching with the arms and fingers. One more inhale. Exhale, rebend into the knees, slide your back foot back to where it was, that wider warrior two stance. Nice job. One more in-breath. Exhale, we're gonna circle the hands all the way down. And then shift. Right foot's gonna step up to meet the left. And fold on in. Good. Take an inhale, reach the arms out wide and up overhead. Exhale, hands are going to come to heart center. Nice. So we're going to take those same principles and move right into a half moon pose. That'll be the next step in our sequence here. So starting at the top of the mat, inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Good. Step it back. Just find a downward dog for a moment. And then before we get into it, come to a child's pose. Bend the knees, release the hips back towards the heels. Good. I'm actually going to rotate my body because I want you guys to be able to see another angle. So you can stay right where you are. We're going to come back to a downward dog position. Always have your blocks nearby. It's really helpful to be able to step the leg through. So downward facing dog. I'm going to keep my hands on the blocks for this one. And then as I inhale, the right foot's going to step forward. Good. Rotate your back heel down. We're going to come up, warrior two. Good. We're going to shift forward, placing the block on the highest height, somewhere in front of the foot, because that is where we're going. We're going to kind of launch off forward. So taking a full breath in, reach forward, hand's going to land on the block, top hand to the top hip, and step up, half moon balance. Good. Really engage that back leg, pressing through the back heel. And then top arm up. So this is exactly what we've been doing. Straight leg, like triangle, strong back leg, all these externally rotated poses. Good. One more inhale. Let's transition this. Bend into the front knees. Slowly lower the back foot down. Warrior two. Good. Inhale, flip the palm, reverse your warrior, big breath. As you exhale, side angle pose, top arm up. Good. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Triangle pose, straighten the front leg, maybe shorten your stance. Reaching forward and down towards the outside edge of your foot. Really nice. As you exhale, lowering the left hand down, re-bend into your right knee, rotate onto the ball of your back foot, and then we're going to step it back to downward facing dog on the blocks. If you have a slippery mat, really be mindful of downward facing dog on the blocks. Good. Inhale, left leg is going to reach forward, step it through. Back heel's going to spin down. We're setting ourselves up for that same flow. Roll on up, warrior two position. Good. Lengthen forward. Top hand's going to go to top hip. Launch off. Half moon. Working that back leg. Try not to have this really low. Try and get it up to the height of the hip, not beyond, just up to the height of the hip. You can always keep your top hand on your top hip. That will help maybe balance a little bit. Good. We're going to re-bend into your left leg. Slowly step it back. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Side angle pose. Forearm to thigh, top arm skyward. Good. Inhale, find the reverse. Straighten your front leg, triangle pose. We're going to lengthen as far as we can. Let the hand land to the outer edge of the foot, top arm up. Really nice. Full breath in. And then wrap the body around down towards the mat. So you're squaring off here. Bend your left knee. You're in a low lunge position. And then releasing the blocks off to the side. Step back. Downward facing dog, no blocks underhand. And taking one more inhale as you exhale, lower the body, coming into a child's pose with or without a block. Come back to your breath. Find that ujjayi breathing, that constriction, if you've been practicing that today. Awesome job. Come through to a seated position. And we're going to work bridge pose with the block. Grab the block, take it in between the knees, or in between the thighs. Squeeze the block like you did for chair pose. Feet are going to be hips distance apart. You're going to be squeezing the block, activating the adductor muscles. Super key and important. Take your tailbone down towards your heels. I'm not sure if you can see that in here, but it's really important to help activate and stabilize through the core and pelvis. And it protects your back while you do back bends and ensures that we're back bending from the right place. So find that stability in the lower body. And then as you inhale, drop the shoulders. Have your strap nearby. Drop your towards your mat, press down through the feet, start to lift the hips, and then pause here. See what you're doing. If you're over engaging your glutes, try and soften around your glutes, right? Just kind of gently hugging the hips inward and really squeezing through the legs. So there's not an over engagement of the glutes. There is an engagement for sure, but you want to make sure that your legs and your core are also working to help support you in this pose. Good. Take a full breath in. Grab your strap. Use your strap to help give you a little more space across your chest. So kind of tucking your arms back. One more breath. And then as you exhale, slowly lower it on down. You can release the block. Open your feet out. Drop your knees in. And we're going to do that again. So the first one's always kind of like figuring it out, working the alignment, seeing how this feels in your body. And then as we do more and more, it should feel more comfortable, and you should kind of get what it feels like in your body. So coming into our second bridge, go ahead and grab the block, place it underneath, or I'm sorry, in between the thighs, pressing in through the feet, having your strap nearby. Slowly lift the hips, coming onto the backs of the shoulders or the shoulder blades, and then kind of tucking or scooting the arms in. If you have the ability to interlace the hands, you can. Otherwise, use your strap, driving the knuckles down towards your heels. Keep squeezing the block. If the block is falling out, then your knees are splaying open, which is compressing your lower back. Full breath in. Exhale, lower it all down. Good. Once again, separate the feet, knock the knees in, pause here. Good. Last one. So option with or without the block. I like it with, just because it really forces me to use my legs and engage my adductors. Lifting the hips on the in-breath, grabbing the strap or interlacing the hands, finding that extra lift, that extra arch through the middle upper back, keeping our low back nice and stable, and then slowly come on down. Good. Once you've come down, remove the block, and then just hug the knees in towards the chest and just do a little pumping of the knees to the chest to help loosen any tension. Good. And then pausing here, we're going to take our hands to the outer edges of either your shin, your ankles, your feet. We're going to come into a happy baby pose. Right, that could feel really good. Yeah, because I'm on it.
You can move it to the side. Reach a little bit further, maybe.
I was like, I can't really roll. Good, and then slowly bringing the legs down. And then shifting to one side, coming up to a seat. Good. You're going to take your left leg, take it out kind of wide, like you're doing a wide-legged seated position, and then the right leg's going to come in, sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Gently rotate over your straight leg, grab your strap, hook it around the ball of the foot, and slowly start to lean in. Good, one more inhale here. And as you exhale, come on up and switch. Taking the strap to the ball of the foot, you can let it hang out. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Rotate and fold. And slowly come on up. Keep the right leg out, extending the opposite leg out so you're in a wide-legged straddle. Go ahead and grab your blocks. One block is going to come, maybe you're going to start here at the highest height, maybe the second, just depending on your mobility. And then you're going to match it with the opposite block. So one's going to be for your chest, one's going to be for your head. And again, if you have more space, it could look something like that. Hello, bird. All these birds out here are intense. Okay, so over and then, so again, this is like for your chest, the first block, second block for your head. You can be here for a supported wide-legged stretch. Last few breaths. Slowly coming back to center. And then butterfly pose. Scoop the knees, bring them in, soles of the feet together, knees out nice and wide. Finding your butterfly pose. You're welcome to stay here or start to fold. If you're folding, go ahead and grab that block. Use it as a support for your head, maybe also one for your chest if that felt good. And then slowly come on up, your next in-breath. Really nice. You're welcome to stay in a butterfly position or bring the legs in, shake them out. Come to our cross-legged seat, same as how we started. Taking a moment to reconnect back with that Ujjayi breath, and then we'll gently let that breath go. If you're using the even breath, just stay with the even breath for just another moment or two. Whatever regulated breath you're doing today, start to let that go, bringing more of a natural breathing pattern. And you're welcome to finish out here in a seated position. If you want to move on to your back for a supine meditation, Shavasana, please go ahead and do so now. Wherever you are, if you have the moment to stay there for a few more minutes, you're welcome to. Otherwise, if you're closing off with me, bring the hands to the heart center. Thank you so much for joining me in today's practice. Again, as always, if you want to continue to practice with me, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It really does support me, and I am so grateful. I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.